Hello everyone, I am JD and this is
Enzo.
And we're going to be reading the book Rosie Revere, Engineer. It's Women's History Month, it's March, and we're going to be reading this book in commemoration of Women's History Month.
What is that? But
We'll see it. You'll see it in the book. Wait till we read it. So Rosie Revere, Engineer by Andrea, Beaty, illustrated by David Roberts.
the butt. Helicopter.
This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. Right here.
But when no one saw her, she peeked into the trash for treasures to add to her
Engineer stash.
And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in her hideaway under the sleeves.
Under the eaves. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines far under the bed where they'd never be seen. When Rosie
was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye and made fun inventions for uncles and aunts and a hot dog dispenser and helium pans.
She made her uncle helium pants.
I think those are.
That's why he's flying. The uncle she loved most was Zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head. From parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away.
Pythons?
Mm-hmm. Look at all of them here. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud, but Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed till he wheezed and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. I love it, Fred hooted. Oh, truly I do. But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day, she kept her dreams to herself. Disappointed. And that's how it went until one autumn day, her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who'd worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dream. Right here.
The night as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Should she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese hat and said, No, not I.
But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. Oh, wow.
She worked and she worked until the day was half gone. The hull of her chief's copter out of the lawn to give her a vengeance test to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be.
Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The Helio cheese copter sputtered and twitched.
Where's the
It
cheese?
floated a moment and whirled round and round and froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground.
Did it work?
It flew for a little bit, but then it crashed. Right here. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned round to see the old woman laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin, or build with a lever, a switch, or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer. She turned round to leave, but then great-great-aunt Rose grabbed hold of Rosie and pulled her in close, and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next. Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. I failed, said Rosie. It's just made of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheese copter crashed. Yes, said her great aunt, it crashed. That is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that it flew. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy. And on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but it was not. The only true failure can come if you quit. It worked.
We can do it.
We can do it. Over here, they worked till the sun.
Sneaked away to his bed. Aunt Rose tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and set her to sleep with a smile ear to ear, and sent her
to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 built gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys too. With each perfect failure, they all stand and cheer, but none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. The end, everyone. Bye.